Residents of Delaware in the United States have been reporting that strange things are happening above them. The majority of eyewitnesses can't explain what they're witnessing, saying that when they try to focus in on the strange objects they're unable to, which leaves them with more questions than answers. One eyewitness, however, was able to capture one of these objects on camera and ended up submitting them to MUFON, which stands for the Mutual UFO Network, and works as a database for people to submit their reports, and which also allows them to stay anonymous. One individual submitted the following report. It was around 7:15 PM when me and my wife started to take a walk in our neighborhood. The sun was setting in the west with pink clouds in the distance. There was still a blue sky left, and that's when I noticed what looked like a dark pink cloud by itself and out of place. I stopped to look at it, and asked my wife if she saw it moving. She said yes. Then the cloud started to move slowly towards us, and with a tail like a comet, and then it seems to turn away from us with two tails. It finally went from reddish to black, then went into cloud cover and it was gone. Another eyewitness said the following about the report. I've seen these things above Delaware for the past few days now, and I can't explain what they are. The description that people give about these things is that they look like a giant octopus or a squid, and I would agree with that. They seem to move erratically in the sky, but I've also seen them moving slowly. They look like they're changing shape, and some of the ones that I've seen just vanish in front of your eyes. It's like they evaporate. I've heard some people saying that these are just low-flying clouds, and that they're moving with the wind, but I've never seen a cloud move this fast, change direction and also change shape." End quote. While another resident said this, "The only way I can describe this thing was that it was changing its shape within seconds. This definitely wasn't something like a balloon as it was too high up, and it was way too big. It was massive. I called my partner out and both of us couldn't believe what we were seeing. We've never seen anything like it." End quote. Most of the residents who saw the object agreed that it wasn't something like a cloud or a balloon, and went on to detail that it appeared to be shape-shifting, saying that it reminded them of a squid with tentacles. Interestingly, these types of sightings have been given a name, and they go by atmospheric jellyfish. Individuals who have seen them have said it's unlike anything they've seen before, and that they look like giant jellyfish hovering around in the sky. This unexplained phenomena has been cited by hundreds of people across the globe, including top meteorological scientists, military bases and cities. These strange lights or objects have confused many people, which is why many have called them mysterious flying objects. According to NASA, these objects may be the result of space debris reflecting off the northern lights, but they've been observed in various countries and at different altitudes. One user said they observed one of the following crafts above Russia, saying the following: "I live close to Voronezh, and it was here where I saw something odd in the sky. The only way I can describe this object is that it looked like a giant jellyfish. I tried to capture some photographs of it, but they turned out blurry, and you couldn't see the tentacles coming off of it. I did a quick search online and it turns out this wasn't the first time that something like this had been encountered in Russia. In fact, one of the most famous jellyfish sightings has occurred in Russia. To this day, I still can't explain what I witnessed." End quote. This year alone, Delaware has had over 294 reports of mysterious flying objects, and this is according to the National UFO Reporting Center. The number's thought to be much higher than that because not everyone is able to report their sighting. One resident who lives in Bear, Delaware, came forward and submitted their encounter to MUFON, saying the following: I was outside with my husband when we both observed 3 small lights flying around in the sky at high speeds. If I had to guess, I would say that the objects in question were around 2 feet in diameter. I quickly grabbed a notepad and was writing down everything as it was happening. I recorded that the objects were flying incredibly fast. They were silent, they looked like they were searching for something, and they would also fly into each other, create a larger ball and then separate again. I've never seen anything like it before. My partner is also a pilot, and he said that the objects in question were far too small to be anything like a plane or a helicopter. Since the sighting, we haven't seen the objects since, and both of us were left questioning what these strange lights were and where they came from." End quote. Skeptics have said the strange objects seen above Delaware were likely a cloud, and that the alleged legs were just bits of cloud that were obstructed from view. They went on to say that the object could just be a Fata Morgana, a common atmospheric illusion that causes images far off in the distance to appear as if they're floating in the sky high above the horizon. The optical illusion occurs when layers of warm and cold air create an atmospheric duct that acts similar to that of a refracting lens, creating an almost mirrored image of the object past the horizon and making it appear as if it's floating amongst the clouds. Such illusions have allowed people to see images of cities far past the curve of the horizon, made it appear as if boats were sailing through the air, or as if cities themselves were built amongst the clouds, although eyewitnesses have said this definitely isn't what they saw. Another explanation that skeptics give is that this could be lenticular clouds. These clouds are a distinctive cloud formation that have been regularly confused for mysterious flying objects, and this is due to their smooth round or oval shape. The clouds are not uncommon, but are most regularly found in mountainous areas, and can appear singular or stacked like pancakes, but again people have said these don't match the descriptions of what they're seeing. Clock of the Long Nail is also known as the 10,000-year clock. It's a mechanical clock that's been designed for timekeeping for 10,000 years. It's under construction and is being built by Longnew Foundation. The project was first conceived by Danny Hillis. He started working on the idea in 1986. A prototype of the clock was completed in 1999 and is kept at the Science Museum in London. It started working on December 31st, 1999, right at New Year's Eve. This prototype is 2 meters high. A couple of more similar prototypes have been put on display at the Long Nail Museum and store located in San Francisco. The full-scale project is still under construction in Texas in the United States. Amazon's Jeff Bezos is funding the construction of the first fully-scale prototype. The estimated cost of the prototype is around $42 million and is being built on the land developed by Jeff Bezos himself. The idea behind the clock is that instead of having a second hand, minute hand and an hour hand, it will have a year hand that will tick once at the end of every year, and it will also have a century hand that will tick at the end of each century. In addition, a cuckoo will come at the end of each millennium, which will mark the end of the millennium. The website about the Clock of the Long Nail gives detailed information about this iconic project that is aimed to serve humanity for the next 10,000 years. Jeff Bezos said the following on the clock's official website: "We are building a 10,000-year clock. It's a special clock, designed to be a symbol, an icon for long-term thinking. It's of monumental scale inside of a mountain in West Texas. The father of the clock is Danny Hillis. He's been thinking about and working on the clock since 1989. He wanted to build a clock that ticked once a year, where the century hand advances once every 100 years, and the cuckoo comes out on the millennium. The vision was and still is to build a clock that will keep time for the next 10,000 years. I've been helping Danny with the project for the last half a dozen years. As I see it, humans are now technologically advanced enough that we can create not only extraordinary wonders, but also civilization-scale problems. We are likely to need more long-term thinking. Visiting the clock will take a commitment. The nearest airport is several hours away by car, and the foot trail to the clock is rugged, rising almost 2,000 feet above the valley floor. Building a clock inside a remote mountain is a big task. Construction is underway, and we're making progress every day. After many years of hard work and creative thinking, the final design and engineering of the clock is nearly complete, and fabrication of the full clock parts have begun." End quote. Construction on the clock started back in 2018, and as of right now it's not known when the creation will be finished. The location of the clock is on land owned by Jeff Bezos, so even when it's finished it's unknown whether anyone will be able to reach it. Those that have been following the clock's creation have said that although the journey itself is hours away from anything, don't be disappointed if no one ends up visiting the creation, although the website seems to hint that people will be able to visit the project. The website continues with the following. Designed by Danny Hillis, the clock is designed to run for 10 millennia, with minimum maintenance and interruption. The clock is powered by mechanical energy harvested from sunlight, as well as the people that visit it. The primary materials used in the clock are marine-grade stainless steel, titanium and dry-running ceramic ball bearings. The entire mechanism will be installed in an underground facility in West Texas. The full-scale 10,000-year clock is now under construction. While there's no completion date scheduled, we do plan to open it to the public once it's ready. This is one of several projects by Long now to foster long-term thinking in the context of the next 10,000 years. Danny Hillis continued with the following. I cannot imagine the future, but I care about it. I know I am part of the story that starts long before I can remember, and continues long beyond when anyone will remember me. I sense that I'm alive at a time of important change, and I feel a responsibility to make sure that the change comes out well. I plant my acorns knowing that I will never live to harvest the oaks. I have hope for the future. The project has divided some people. Danny Hillis is a smart man. He's an established inventor and scientist, but recent questions that he's answered has left some people questioning whether this project is of importance. He co-founded a biotech startup company that looks into and studies cancer research. Wired interviewed him and asked how he can justify working on the clock instead of focusing on cancer research. Hillis responded with the following. I think this is the most important thing I can work on, more than cancer. Over the long run, I think this will make more difference to more people. This of course got people talking, with one online user saying the following. What does this clock do for our world? It's a giant clock that will keep time for the next 10,000 years. I don't really get the point of it. It's Jeff Bezos' money and he can spend it how he wants. But part of me thinks that $45 million could have gone on something better. While another user agreed with Hillis, saying this. The clock of the long now is a project of the future, and I think the point of it is more philosophical in the sense that we have such a short time span on Earth. None of us are going to be around for long, and all of our problems will be outlived by this clock. To me, it makes me think that we should all slow down and appreciate the smaller things in life. The clock is there to remind us that nothing lasts forever. We all have our short time span on planet Earth. So what do you make of the clock of the long now? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below. and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.